Hola, welcome, hello. What's up, guys? Let's try not to get too emotional, okay? Whew. What up, guys? My name is D, and together we are Guiding D-Light, baby. So, the emotional body and how it plays effects and multiple roles for changing your frequency and a couple other different things. So, let's just jump right into it. We'll get there. I'm sure we'll cover most of the aspects I want to try to get to. So, are you at a high emotional state of bliss and joy? Or are you at a low emotional state of fear and depression and just, that unhappy emotional state? Frankly, I wish nobody's that, but here's the deal. As we start to get more positive and get these positive affirmations, become higher in the energy, we start raining in abundance. A little bit leaks out, but we start raining in that abundance. Okay? As abundance rains in, we learn how to control it, right? Once we learn how to control it, it's our barrier to always stay in line for the circus. So when the big show happens in the circus, we're either standing in line or we're inside, right? We're not falling down this slippery slope of emotions. So, we have our emotions, and we're at a higher state, a joyful state, and we're going to call this the scrambler or the octopus. We want to keep it circus theme, right? Because let's face it, as a kid, you guys probably went to the circus or the carnival. Hard to be emotionally unhappy, right? Emotionally, you're excited, you're at the circus, right? Well, think about this here. We have the happy emotion. Everything's going good. We're kind of in this area. We're almost to the abundance, raining in. Something happens and it slingshots us down, right? A cup of milk gets spilt. Do you and come down in this lower emotional state, or you just move on, right? The goal is when you get spun here is to exit through the center. Keep on walking up the hill. So now, when we pay attention to this, we want to go towards the lower aspect. This is rock bottom, right? You can see RIP. This is, I want to kill myself. I'm super depressed. I don't enjoy life. Very sad spot. Unfortunately, there's more people that are there than should be. But I understand, guys. I've been to this point where, I hated life and didn't want to live on. So one of the reasons why I make this emotional healing for you guys and to show you that if I've been here and I've rose up here, you can do it too, right? So we start working our way out of rock bottom. We start getting a little bit of traction, and then what happens? When it rains, it pours, right? I'm sure most of you have heard that expression before. What happens when it rains and you're going up a slope? You get a mudslide and you slide back down to the rocks, right? Not good. But let's say you got a little bit of traction, right? You made a little bit further, but here, look where this guy's looking. Don't judge my horrible drawing, but pay attention to the way he's looking. He's looking towards the past, when it rained, the rock bottom. Looking in the past. It's all of these emotions and all these events is what's keeping me from becoming neutral or in a higher state. I can't get ahead because of this, right? I'm going to make it, but then this. Okay, so let's say we stop looking back. We stop looking in the past. We start getting a little bit more positivity. I represent this with the hand coming up. Okay, why the hand? Well, you're reaching into positivity, but you're pulling it into negativity. How are you doing that? Well, say you're going to do something really positive, right? But then you plan for a negative outcome to be prepared, right? Why plan for a negative outcome so you can be prepared when if you don't plan for it at all, it never happens? It's a fun one me and my wife went back on throughout the years. Definitely got her more towards the other side now. It takes time, guys, to heal some of these emotional responses, some of these programming, some of these belief structures that we have within us, right? So let's say we're reaching up here and we're pulling it in, and we eventually can get to this neutral spot, right? The star represents you. You started at a neutral spot, and throughout life has drawn your star up and down this path. Key is to be on this neutral line, right? Where this energy is neutral. It's not benefiting one side. It's important because if you can stay neutral, like you're happy because you're neutral, right? So that's already a plus. But if you stay neutral and you have a negative thought, it's not going to drag you down so much. So take these 4 dots here. Imagine you have a good thought, a bad thought, and a good thought in a day's period. So morning, mid-morning, mid-afternoon, afternoon. That's going to drag you up, right? So say you go even Stevens, you stay at neutral all day. Great. Congratulations. But if you have 3 negatives, you're going to start going down this, and you're going to start hitting that help line, right? It's so important to have that positive mindset, that happy emotion, right? I hit 4 for 4, right? I'm overly optimistic. Sometimes it causes some strife, right? Because if I'm super excited and super charged up, super positive, and like nothing's going to stop me, and then I'm talking to someone who's like barely got any positiveness in them at all, that emotion of being super excited and then being super low kind of has a drag effect. I'm sure some of you guys have witnessed that. So we work here in a neutral spot. How do you become neutral? Someone calls you up, tells you so-and-so died. Don't have a reaction. Okay. Process it. So-and-so died. I'm sorry for your loss. Right? You can still be respectful and give them an emotional response to a T, but don't have that emotion. Don't tie any emotions to something. If something happens, don't put emotion to it, right? If you don't put emotion to it, you're not wasting energy and emotions. It's also helping to heal, because the less emotions you have, the less influence you'll have as well. Like, you won't be influenced off your emotion, right? That's why, so some of you beautiful women out there, beautiful lights out there, I want to meet some more of you guys. But women operate on emotion based upon logic. So men act on logic. That's proven scientific. So some of these great healers and spiritual girls out there, I'm wondering, if you're not emotionally happy, are you just a super big brat? Oh man, seriously. Because you girls act on emotions, right? That's the difference between men and guys. But it's just always curious because, you know, when women aren't having the greatest emotional day, you know, their days are kind of strifeful. But I'm just curious on if a woman's ever really conquered that. Anyway, moving forward here. So we got high and low frequencies, right? When we get in the high frequency and we're staying here and everything is great, say Schumann resonance is super high, you know, we're in this area, we're loving it, right? Energy dips down, right? We have emotional response. Are we doing it right? Faith, trust, integrity comes in, and then am I at the right spot? And then all of a sudden I'm not, and I slingshot myself down here and I start looking into the past. Well, did I do something wrong? Is there something else I got to heal? What just happened? I went from the highest of highs. I had a little dip in my frequency, which brought me to the scrambler, and it threw me back into the past. Not neutral, right? So if you can stay balanced, stay neutral, stay in that high, positive, optimistical state, that's the best, right? So when you're not in that high, optimistical space, you feel like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders, right? Everything's heavy. You got a lot of density. It's hard to be happy, right? You have a low amount of energy, like just getting off the couch and doing a few things is like overbearing, right? Because you got the weight of the world on your shoulder because you're down low in an emotional state. See, the emotions carry on to actions. And if the actions and the emotions are soft and not good in a lower state, then that positiveness never even has a chance. So, but check it out. You get rid of it. Look how happy that guy is. He's got his arms up in the air, right? There's no weight. It's hooray, yay. Dealing with your emotions will get rid of some of that hate, weight, and burden. And then I want to bring it over here. Kind of my favorite part of this whole analogy anyways. So, as you're in a lower depressive state, you're growing these roots down. And these roots are essentially your gratitude, your compassion. You understand what it's like being in the low, depressing states, right? You've experienced bad emotions. Well, as you experience those bad emotions, you grow a root. And then when you heal the emotion, you grow that energy up to the stalk, right? So as you heal your emotional body, you put light into your roots. And as you stay positive, you begin to grow your tree, flower. You turn into that magnificence. And as you grow, you become to this point right here, the V, and you balance the two halves. So this is the left, the right, the masculine, the feminine, the left and the right hemisphere of the brain, light and night, right? They talk, they face. Emotions talk to bad and good emotions talk to each other. If you stay center, you create the heart. Once you create the heart, well, sky's the limits from there. But this is a representation that some people, they're down here and they're looking back in the past, they're kind of fighting themselves, they're reaching up, they're kind of getting a little bit of traction, staying neutral a little bit. They have a hard time with faith and trust because they're down in this lower energy, right? They're not seeing these high results. But what I want people to focus on too is you're healing your roots. You're establishing your stalks. So even though life isn't the way you absolutely wanted it to be at this current moment in time, even if you're in a lower frequency and a lower emotional state, you're still healing your roots. So when you become neutral, positively balanced, you can grow that beautiful plant and you can flourish, right? And it's important too to realize, guys, if you're up here at a high state and something happens and you respond emotionally, you're going back to the scrambler. And you're going to be tossed all around. You never know where you're going to land up. So that's the key too. When you guys are reaching out and you're getting up here and you're making your way to the scrambler and you hit the scrambler, these are going to be your fear test, your judgment test, your integrity test that we talk about. This is where it has to be determined what kind of character you are. How are you going to act upon emotions? If you've got an open heart, a heart of gold, and your integrity and your emotions are calm, you don't have to go to the scrambler. You go straight to the abundance. And then if you've captured some abundance and you have it in your container or the cup, the chalice, whatever you guys want to represent it. I did a Ferris wheel full of people. Carnival theme. You just go get back on the Ferris wheel and you ride. Right? There's no mixed emotions. There's no questioning yourself. That's really stepping in your power and being who you are. To be neutral, guys, can someone have a conversation with you and you're not getting emotionally tied up into it, right? You can carry on a conversation, show sincerity and compassion and understanding, but without the emotion, right? Empaths don't feel other people's emotions. See them, hear them, understand them, but don't feel them. Control your emotions, stay neutral, and you won't feel anything, right? Well, you feel bliss when you're neutral. I'm not going to lie. But you're never coming back down to this, right? But you remember what it's like. You've got roots, so you understand what people are going through. That's why we tell everyone, you have to love yourself. Because if you love yourself, then you're happy with yourself. And once you love yourself, you heal yourself, you're happy. That happiness can ring into other people. And when you stay happy and you ring happiness into other people, bam, stock takes off. Flowers grow, they bud, they flourish, right? That's all we want you guys to do. Just focus on your emotional bodies. Try to clear them up as much as you can. This stuff's probably going to come up within the next couple weeks. It's kind of guided to make this video. It's just, don't carry emotions with words. right? It's okay to have emotions about certain things, and it's okay to have an emotion of fear if you're in a fear situation, right? That's your instincts. But the key is not to stay in it. Come back to neutral as quick and as fast as possible. So when you come to your clicks in your days, on your midpoints, you're throwing the energy up high where it wants to be. And you can stay at a high consistency, an emotional free body, and just really step into that true master and be the greatest version that you're meant to be. And it starts simply by controlling your emotions, controlling your attitude, right? Glad I got to share this one with you guys. Pay attention. Don't get emotionally wrecked. If you're having all these emotions, just try to drown them out. Think about higher stuff. And just work through this. You'll get there. The key is, do not overreact to certain little things. Always look at the big picture and understand there's a divine plan. Oh yeah, baby, that's it. Be you, be true. Till next time, guys. Peace.